I just want to open up this video with a massive thank you to each one of you guys. The support has been absolutely insane, and each one of your guys' likes, comments, and DMs means the absolute world to me. And it just blows my mind that I can make something that I like and then have it also inspire you to go out and make something as well. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you guys enjoy today's video.
Right now we are going up a trail to get up to a bridge closer to the waterfall. So
Looking back over the last few years, there are a lot of things I wish I had known sooner, because they have helped me not only become a much better videographer, but also helped me with a lot of these struggles that most of us go through when getting into videos. Number one is story is not always key. For me, this was a tough thing to wrap my head around, because everything I have seen or learned over the years always talks about how the most important thing is story. But I feel like this really limits me when it comes to just having fun filming. And obviously, I know that story is important, and in some cases it will end up being the most important aspect, but not always. For example, I would go out and shoot something and just get lots of shots that I thought looked really good, which for me is my favorite aspect of filmmaking, because I love the idea of just capturing the world how I see it, because I know that no one else will do it that exact same way. And I assume this is why most of you guys love filming as well. But after I would go out and shoot something, I would sit down at my desk and just spend so much time trying to think of how can I make it a story. But eventually I learned that it doesn't matter. I don't perceive every piece of the world as a story, and so I don't need to convey every piece of the world as a story. Sometimes you just look at something and you like how it is in that exact moment. It doesn't need to have a mission or a conflict and resolution. It just needs to be captured and appreciated. And in turn, it almost always becomes a better video and something that I can really come to love, rather than feeling like it was just something that was forced. And on a similar note, this can be applied with videos where the story is absolutely rock solid. Just because you planned it and shot it and edited it exactly how you wanted doesn't mean you can't switch things up. Sometimes I will edit a video and it turns out great and I know I can move on, but I like to just make another duplicate timeline and start messing with clips, because you never know what you can accidentally do. Moving on from the story side of things, let's talk about the actual shooting portion. Shoot less to shoot more. And I know this doesn't really make any sense, but hear me out. When I go and shoot something, whether that be a wedding or a corporate shoot or whatever, I always end up shooting everything I possibly can, because I don't want to go home, realize that that one piece I needed, I didn't end up getting, which actually ends up happening the most when I just shoot everything. By shooting less, you can put your camera down, look around, and see the scene through your own eyes, and then think about how you can move on from the shot that you just did and go get something completely different. A good example of this is a project where I was shooting motorcycles driving. Each one of these shots is technically different, but they all look the same. And this made it so hard to edit, because what I thought was almost too much footage ended up not being enough. So by slowing down, setting the camera down, and just walking around the room, it can help you get more shots by shooting less. On to the third tip, we have just making sure that you are constantly learning. I saw a quote that said something like, every artist will go through a phase where they know what they want and they know how they want their work to look, but they physically cannot achieve it, and this is when they quit. Understanding that we all have to deal with this has helped me almost let go of that chase for perfection. And this doesn't mean that you or I cannot make something that looks like a Hollywood film, but means we need to learn. We either need to learn how to do what higher level videographers are doing, or how to do what lower level videographers are doing. Because sometimes people who may have less technical knowledge end up having more creativity, and then they use that to help them achieve the shots that they want. So what I'm trying to say is that just because we don't think we are capable of hitting this certain level of quality, learning as much as we can will help close that gap between what we are able to achieve and what we want to achieve. The final tip is something that I feel like is a bit more frowned upon, and that is buying new gear. No, I don't mean you need to purchase a new lens every single week, or you need to buy that camera body, but just like anything else, videography can be boring. And sometimes you won't want to go film or create anything. And for me, I found that when I'm in a state of no motivation or in a creative rut, getting something special might help. I'm a big fan of cameras. I love that there are so many different styles and so many different types. And this is a good thing for all of us, because it means that we aren't just stuck with one way of creating. It doesn't even have to be an expensive piece of gear. All the boys and I recently went on a little trip, and instead of taking my camera fully built out, I wanted to make it different. So I got a little pistol grip, and then I used it like a 16mm camera. This little thing changed the way I shot and actually made me want to create even more. Looking at art, for example, you can use a pencil, you can use a paintbrush, you can use a crayon. Doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as the one you end up picking inspires you to continue creating. Because in the end, all we're trying to do is take our ideas from our brain and put them into the world for other people to enjoy. So thank you so much for making it to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And go check out my Instagram. It's Maxwell Kane Creative. It's in the description because I love seeing your guys' account and seeing the work that you guys are out creating. But thank you again, and I will see you guys next Monday. Also, I see all the comments about making a coloring video, and be patient. It will come. I just want to make sure that it's really good. See you guys next Monday.